What's going on, guys? Orange Swarm coming at you guys with another video. In today's video, man, we're going to be talking about some of the NFL schedule. Week 1 in particular is what I want to talk about, and I want to talk about, man, what this fan base is going through. You guys know that tonight is the official NFL schedule release for all 32 teams. We're focusing on our Detroit Lions, obviously, and we're seeing games slowly being leaked out. Detroit Lions, Week 1, we're going to talk about that. We've already seen that the Lions are going to have 3 or 4 primetime games. It looks like we're going to get a couple Thursday nights, maybe a Monday night. Nothing really official, but I think this Week 1's already official. We have to go into Arrowhead and face the Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Week 1. Okay, Week 1, and I didn't write nothing for this, guys. I wrote nothing. This is getting tossed. This is literally getting tossed. Don't even have my glasses. Glasses are on the table. Nothing. This is pure raw emotion coming at you guys right now. It's just I can't take this fan base at times. I love this fan base. There's like a love-hate relationship sometimes with it. You can't be too negative on players. You can't criticize certain players in this city or on this team. It seems like Detroit is really bad for that. I know other teams do it too. Other fan bases do it. All 32 teams do it. But, we're obviously focusing on the Lions here. And then right now, since we're going to be playing the Kansas City Chiefs, all I hear from a lot of the fans, not majority, but a lot of fans, the whining and just the constant bitching about who we have to play Week 1. It's like it doesn't stop. It's like, oh, the NFL doesn't like us. Oh my God, they're gonna, Kansas City is gonna stomp a mud hole in our ass. And you know what? There's a good chance that could happen. But all this fan base and myself have been doing is running our mouths for months now. We've been running our mouths, saying how good we're going to be. I even said we're going to win the North. I predicted we're going to win double-digit games from 11 to 12 wins. That's what I predicted. Now, we are playing the Super Bowl champions. So what? Like Ric Flair says, woo! To be the best, you got to beat the best. Bret Hart said it too. Those two guys notoriously coined that phrase. You have to beat the best in order to be the best. That's facts. Now, I'm not coming in here saying we're gonna stomp a mud hole in the Kansas City Chiefs, but this is the way it is. The NFL has took notice that the Lions are making improvements. They're giving us games. They're facing us off against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not going to sit here and cry about that. I don't understand how this fan base gets upset over this. This is an opportunity for the Detroit Lions to really make a name right now. To really make a name. And it's Week 1. This is the game that you want to get off right away. This is the game that you want to play right away. If there's any game that you want to play the Chiefs, it's Week 1. And I'm not saying the Chiefs are weak as a weak football team, because they're not. Andy Reid will have those boys ready. That's a fact. But this is the type of game that you really want. If you're going to play a team like the Chiefs, you want it Week 1, because it's every opportunity to win this football game. And like I said, Super Bowl champs coming off, Patrick Mahomes having a phenomenal season, this and that. Like Super Bowl MVP, we all know who Patrick Mahomes is. He's a stud. He's probably the best football player in the NFL today. Best quarterback by far. So this is the type of game that's really going to cement I think your year. It doesn't decide the final outcome, but this is the game where you really put a footprint right into the season. Now, are they going to win or are they going to lose? We'll talk about that down the road. But right now, the Detroit Lions are +7 underdogs. They're not favored to win this game. I think it's If you want to talk money line, I think I heard Darren McCarty from Woodward Sports saying earlier that's like plus 225. If I think that's on the money line too. So, bet that if you want. But this is going to be a game, man, that the Lions really have to cement themselves. I'm going to be talking about all their games eventually. I kind of, just like I do when I do mock drafts, I don't do mock drafts. Just like I kind of avoid those. I tend to avoid the win-loss prediction period when I start talking about this team, because I just don't really like to put that out there, because things are different week to week. You know what I mean? Like when you first get the schedule and you start going through the games and you say you're going to win a Week 10 game, I just think it's almost like it's too much filler. It's too much filler. It's like I'm just doing a video just to do a video. Like I might do one, just have some fun with it. But it's hard to predict what's going to happen in Week 13. But anyways, I'm just going off kilter here, man. I'm way off base. I'm turning second, and it looks like I'm coming back. You know what I mean? I'm not making any sense. So I just want to tell everybody, man, like, do you think Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, and this coaching staff have the same loser mentality that a lot of this Lions fan base do? You think they're kicking the can? You think they're punching a hole in the wall, moping their heads, putting their head between their legs and crying about having to play the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 1? I guarantee you they're not. You can't have that mindset or that mentality. This is a game, just like any other game. It's Week 1, but this game is meaningful. It's a meaningful game off the jump because we've all been doing it. We've all been talking so much shit about this team on how good they're going to be. We can't back off now. We can't back off. It doesn't mean that it's okay. Like, if you don't think that the Lions are going to win, that's fine. That's fine. And I have no issue with that. I really have no issue whether you pick him to win, lose, draw, whatever. We've been talking about this forever. But to cry about this, to cry about why we're playing Week 1 at Kansas City, this makes no sense to me. Especially with all the talk of all the junk that's been talked about for months. It's been months that we've been talking about how good of a football team we're going to be. And this has been coming out for a while. This is about for a while that we're going to play the Chiefs. First, we're going to play them in Germany. Then we're going to play them in Dan Campbell's backyard. Then we're going to play at Andy Reid's pool. We're going to have a little water polo tournament. And then now it looks like it's official that we are playing them in Arrowhead at Kansas City. The place will be electric. It's a Thursday night game. First game on the ticket of the year. So the NFL is taking notice. They're taking notice, and the Lions have every opportunity here to put a footprint on the season. Now, like I said earlier, wins, loss, whatever. It's Week 1. The only thing I don't want the Lions to do here, and I'll talk about that probably later on down the road in another video, is I just hope they don't get their heads kicked in. That's really the main subject. They lose. It's Week 1. You're playing the Super Bowl champions. Now, you can't come into the season Week 1 thinking, well, if we lose, we lose. That's okay. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, as a fan base, don't panic, whatever happens. Don't get too high, don't get too low. If we win, because I know if we win this football game, everyone's going to be yelling Super Bowl. And I kind of get it. And if we lose this game, everyone's going to be saying, or a lot of majority will be saying, that this team is going to be in the gutter. We're going to be fourth in the NFC North. He just lost his Super Bowl champions, which makes no sense, I think, either way. Let the game play out. My whole biggest thing here is Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes are not going to have the mentality of being upset that they're playing the Super Bowl champions. I guarantee you they're relishing this. They are looking at this and going, let's go. And they are probably tipping tables over, excited to get out there and showcase to the world that they belong. And it's up to them. Like I can sit here and talk about predictions all day. I can sit here and tell you what they're going to do, what they're not going to do, how they're going to run the ball, how they're going to pass the ball. It just, it doesn't matter. The Detroit Lions have a big opportunity here, guys. A really big opportunity here. It's right in front of them. It's right in front of them. It's probably going to be their toughest matchup in years. Okay? This is way bigger than last year playing the Green Bay Packers, in my opinion. They went into Lambeau, and think about this. That was gigantic pressure. Going into Lambeau, knowing that you're not going to the playoffs, and you're trying to stop the Green Bay Packers from going to the playoffs. Now, the Packers are not the Chiefs, so I'm not comparing that. But the situation, the pressure situation, was huge in Lambeau. You're stopping a team, especially your team in your division in the North, from going to the playoffs. And defensively, they were awesome in that game and beat Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers went home. Eventually, he got traded. So that's huge pressure. Now, the next step is another Thursday night game. Another Thursday night game, prime time, under the lights. You're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champions, Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes, Hall of Fame coach Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, Hall of Famer. You're facing that team. You're facing that team, and the pressure is huge, especially with all the shit that people have been talking about this team and how good we're going to be. It doesn't get any bigger. It doesn't get any bigger right now. It could be bigger down the road, obviously, but this is humongous. And this is an opportunity. So as a fan base, back this team up. Don't cry. Don't cry about sitting there, oh man, wins are not handed to you in the NFL, in professional sports. This is a game that they really need to buckle up. I'm not predicting the wins, losses right now. Down the road, I probably will 100% when I talk about my previews like I do every week. But I'm excited for this game. I don't know about you guys. I'm excited. I just had to talk about it because I'm seeing on social media, I'm seeing a certain amount of percentage of fans that are just crying that we're playing this team in week 1 on how the NFL hates us and how the NFL is trying to screw us. Shut up. Like really, this fan base really needs to shut up when it comes to stuff like that. You're going to have to play these guys eventually. You knew we were going to play these guys this year. We just didn't know where. Now we're going to Lambeau. Now we're going to Arrowhead, week 1, facing the Super Bowl champions, man. It doesn't get any bigger. It doesn't get any bigger to start the season off. Bigger is going to be down the road. So take this game, run with it, Detroit Lions. We have faith in this team. I can't wait. I'm super excited. I don't want to hear one person, man, complaining about this. It's just, it doesn't make any sense to complain about this. It really doesn't. If you think you're as good as you've been talking, then do something about it. Prove it. Prove to the world that you guys belong. Prove it, Detroit Lions. That's all we want to see now. We're sitting there. We're sitting in the back. It's easy for us, YouTubers, fan base, all that, to sit back and just kind of predict what's going to happen and say, hey, man, this is what they should do. You know what I mean? This fan base doesn't really know the ins and outs of what's going on. We really don't. We're just puppets. That's all we really are. We're just puppets. This team should be excited that they're playing as Super Bowl champions. They should be. They can't play this game scared, and Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are not about that. These guys aren't coming in scared. They are preparing themselves probably right now as we speak. And it almost seems like, and I'm no conspiracy theorist here because I'm not big on that, but it almost seems like Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell knew what was going to maybe possibly happen. They went out and totally revamped this secondary, not only because they were pure garbage. You know what I mean? That's just one factor. And I'm not saying they knew we were going to play the Kansas City Chiefs week 1. But look what we did in this secondary. We totally revamped it. The addition plus some subtraction. with the Kuda being gone, that's an ad in my mind. You brought in Cam Sutton, who was awesome for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You brought in Emmanuel Mosley, who was playing lights out football before his injury. And he is an injury-prone guy, but he's a really good football player, and he's a really good corner. You brought in C.J. Gardner-Johnson from the Philadelphia Eagles. Went to the Super Bowl with the Eagles. They did not win, but he was a ball-hawking safety who can play nickel cornerback, versatile. Got him on the cheap, who's going to be really good for the Lions. And then you drafted Brian Branch from Alabama, another kind of guy who reminds me a little bit of a C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who's going to be playing nickel cornerback, going to be playing safety, playing all over that secondary. It almost seems like the Lions knew something was up, man. Like something was going on. You got to have a good secondary anyways. And I'm not trying to say that the Lions knew we were going to play the Chiefs week one. I'm just saying, if there's a team that's going to be prepared for the Chiefs week one, it's the Detroit Lions. That revamped secondary it's completely brand new. So, come on, man. We have to really get on board with this, guys. Get on board with it. This is how it is. No more crying about this, man. No more crying. I don't want to see no more crying out there from this fan base. Let's get these guys, man. F the Chiefs. You know, I got total respect for the Chiefs, so I probably shouldn't even say F the Chiefs because I got a lot of respect for that ball club, man. I really do. But hey, week one, kind of F the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? So we got to win this football game, guys. You know, and it's a big opportunity for the Lions here, man. You know, if they can come out with a victory, it'd be really nice, man. And if they lose week one, hey, it's week one. But just don't get blown out. I don't want to see no blowouts, man. But I would love to see them win this football game. We'll talk about this more. But this fan base needs to chill on the crying. No more crying, guys. Thanks a lot, guys. I went on too long with this. I really appreciate you guys coming in and watching the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, get all my videos. Don't forget to like, comment, share this out. We're going to Arrowhead, guys. Week one. It looks like it's confirmed. Imagine if we pulled out a victory here. That would be incredible. Go Lions, one pride. Let's go, baby. Boom.